What's going on, everybody? Maverick Mike here, and this video is for anybody out there who is trying to get started in the stock market, who thinks it's too hard or too complicated. Check this video out. This is for you. So let me reintroduce myself. My name is Sniper Mike, aka Maverick Mike, the founder and leader of the Stock Mavericks Mastery and the Simpler Trading website. This video is for somebody who is just trying to get started. If you've been out there wondering what exactly those people are doing over there making money in the stock market, if you're trying to figure out what does this word mean, no one is too dumb to get started. So this video is for you. Let's dive in. There's two key things that I believe everybody needs to get started in trading. And just like anything in life, at first, it's going to seem too complicated. It's going to seem too confusing. There's going to feel like a barrier in front of you where you seem like you can't cross it. But if you do a little bit of effort and you follow these two simple steps, I think you can head in the right direction and get your journey started in the stock market. Just like politics, there's a full language and vocabulary that goes into politics. The stock market's the same thing. But at first, you need to just get started. And after that, you'll start to realize that vocab and all those language barriers are just stuff to keep people out of it. But any person out there has the ability to make millions in the stock market. And if I can do it, you can do it too. One thing I do want to highlight about this video and about anybody that's trading in the stock market is you're doing exactly what everybody else in life is doing that's profitable. And that is just buying something at one price and selling at the next. So try to make it as simple as possible when I talk to you about these two things. This is my journey that I've been trading now for over 10 years of 3,500 tracked trades on this website, profit.ly. You can check me out under Stock Snipers and view every single one of these trades. But like everybody else in life, I was a beginner at 1.2, and that was 10 years ago, all the way back in 2015. So these two things I'd recommend for every beginner out there. Number one, we're going to show you how to set up and find your broker. The broker is the person that's going to take the money straight from your bank account, or however you're going to fund it. You can bring in a check. I remember going into my first ever broker. It was called Scottrade in Tallahassee. Shout out to Scottrade and rest in peace. But however you want to upload your funds into that broker, I'll show you how and what brokers to choose from. So number one, with finding your broker, for me, I love my broker because Scottrade is what I originally started with. They got bought out by TD Ameritrade, and then TD Ameritrade is what I continued with until they got bought out by Charles Schwab. So 3 different companies I've been with, but the only reason why I've stuck with this company is because of their platform, Thinkorswim. I love the way their trading platform is. You don't only have to do it on the screens here. They have a beautiful platform on the screens. But I'm so high on trading on my phone and my iPhone. I love being on my phone and trading wherever. I'm actually heading to Europe next week. I'm about to be hanging out in Europe and trading and traveling because of the beautiful Thinkorswim app from Charles Schwab. So if it would be a recommendation from me, that's what I would recommend as one of the great brokers out there. There's a lot of different tools there. You can find almost every stock long on there. Other brokers out there, Merrill Lynch, E-Trade, those are other large, long brokers that you can trust out there. But these are long brokers. And one of my patterns, because I don't only go long, is short. So if you are out there or in a different country, you can use these brokers. These brokers will help you find the ability to short stocks and long stocks. At the beginning of your career, I usually recommend only longing stocks. But like I said, if you're in a different country, you can open up to these possibilities. You have interactive brokers, Trade Zero, Cobra Trading. Cobra Trading, I've actually met the CEO. Great guy. Highly recommend them. You have to have a limit of over 25,000, so you have to be above that PDT rule. But I do love Cobra Trading, and shout out to my man Chad out there. He's a great dude, like I said. And you always want to be with a trustworthy broker because you saw what happened in the crypto space. But all these brokers are FDIC insured, and Trade Zero might be the only one I got to make sure. But other than that, these are definitely ones that you can trust. And if you're going to short, I'd probably head in that Cobra direction. For the long, I would head to Charles Schwab in that Thinkorswim. But finding a broker is always a tough thing, and most people think, how do I even get started with trading? That's usually the barrier that has to get started. So check them out. You got to put your information in. These are trusted companies. You can trust all of them. You don't have to worry about them stealing your Social Security and that kind of stuff. The next biggest thing is to find a community. Now, there is a statistic that lingers around. 90% of the traders lose and quit, and only 10% are profitable. And I think this is one of the main reasons why they don't find a community. I think a lot of people start up in trading, and then they instantly leave once they lose money because they don't have people around them that are showing them the ability that this is possible. And they don't have others around them to motivate them, bounce ideas with. And I think that's very, very important in everybody's career. Do not take that lightly. At the beginning of my career, I definitely would not be sitting where I am with this YouTube, creating the advice I have without these two guys right here. I actually, back in 2015 and 16, when we first started trading together, we would meet up at actually a local Dunkin' Donuts in South Florida. And just us three would meet up every single Wednesday night and talk. And eventually the chat got around town and enough people started to show up together and talk stocks with us in South Florida. That's how I created the online service that I have now. It was just from people showing up and wanting to be a part of this trading community. And that's why I loved it at the beginning. It was just not only trading, it was just people talking and having a great time. A Wednesday night to get together and communicate and just have more hope than what my corporate job offered me. And this is actually me at the Dunkin' Donuts with the full crew here. You got one of the first posts back in 2016 when we were inviting the people to come show up to that Dunkin' Donuts. And then here is a whole bunch of people throughout the journey with the Snipers t-shirts on and hanging out with us throughout the years. Shout out Roland Wolf. There's us and Roland. But yeah, it's been a great time, and honestly, I would definitely not be here without all of these guys. I would have, without a doubt, quit. There were so many times that I was in the gutter that I could have easily, just said, I'm done with it, and let me go back to my corporate job. But I knew that deep down when I looked up and I saw my other friends doing it or my other friends continuing to fight, that's just what it was. And with that community, it's very, very important. You can see here we have tons of traders, but to have people that are eye to eye with you, above you, and below you, you need all types of community traders, because when you have someone eye to eye with you, you can now be competitive, fight, and try to really grow yourself. And a great example of that is actually Strati. Shout out to Strat here in the room from all the way back in 2018 with us, making $190 on some OTC stock, and now the guy is crushing it. He just crossed $1 million in profit. One of my great buddies. So shout out to Strat. But he was someone that I see eye to eye with, and now that he's at $1 million, I'm halfway there. But it just motivates me to really try to get it. Then you have that person above you can always learn from, and that person below you to always remember where you've come from, and then you can always give back your ability. And here's some great examples of other members and other people that have been able to profit. But with that community, for me, I always think keep it positive. Don't go into that negative spiral. You can try to talk to your wife, friend, brother, sister about this information in the stock market, but they'll never understand the things that you're going through personally. It's just a trader mentality, and unfortunately, they won't get it. They won't get you losing $1,000. Instead, your wife's probably going to ask you what's for dinner that night, and you're not even probably going to want dinner. So having that community is very, very important. Having your brothers and sisters back in combat. If this is something that you guys like, I still have that community to this day. I would love for you guys to be a part of it. Check me out in the simplertrading.com website under Stock Mavericks Mastery. I live trade twice a day. We're in there doing webinar Wednesdays where I do a lot of trading talk, trading psychology. Release 2 watch lists a day to consistently be prepared for trades every single day. Fun times, no matter what at the end of the day. We always have someone to bounce ideas off. And that's what it's all about, guys. Hopefully these 2 tips helped you start off and get you kick-started in your trading career. If I do anything in your trading career, I hope I was the one to push you over the edge to get started, because it isn't that hard. Remember, we're just buying something at one price and selling it at the next. You decide the quantity. And always click that subscribe button. Show some love to everyone out there. You would be surprised who will reach back out. And much love out there. Good luck, guys.